Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Morning Coffee with Mike. Today we're still going through questions that came up from the Trading Mind Wheel virtual conference that we had 2 weeks ago. So many great questions came in from that show. The one that we're addressing today is giving advice for part-time traders who are building up their accounts while still working their 9 to 5. Now, this is a question that was near and dear to my heart. And the reason why is because that's exactly where I started out. I started out as a retail trader, right? Still am. And it's challenging to start out when you have the 9 to 5 and you hear about this thing called the stock market or trading, and you're trying to put money in and get more money out at the end. I wanted to give some advice for the people like that are just starting out or are struggling as 9 to 5s. So I've got 4 pieces of advice for anyone that's in that boat. And if you are in that boat now, type into the chat, let me know, and well, we'll answer questions throughout this live stream. Whether you're watching over here on Instagram or you're watching over here on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, go ahead, type your questions in. Okay, so advice for part-time traders that are building up their account alongside their 9 to 5. So the first piece of advice would be to set a budget for your trading. Maybe this seems a little, let's say, obvious to some of you. For me, it wasn't. For me, it took me a long time to figure out, hey, let me start to squirrel some money away specifically for trading. And part of the idea is that, especially in the beginning with trading, you're going to be wrong, and you're going to be wrong a lot. You're going to be testing different things, different ideas, different systems. You're going to be finding yourself in the trading community. So you want to set a budget aside for trading that's dedicated for trading, and you won't mind if you end up losing some of it, if you end up losing all of it, if you need to go back and restart from zero. You want to keep on putting a small piece of your weekly or monthly or however often you get paid check aside. Start with Start with 5%, start with 10%, well, whatever amount you're comfortable with taking from your paycheck and putting it aside. And that's going to be how you're going to start to grow your account over time. Eventually, when you start to get good at trading, then you'll not only be putting money in, but the money that's already in there will continuously grow. So that would be the first bit of advice. Budget for trading. Second bit of advice is to get educated. Now, I was on a podcast just this past Sunday, and one of the other panelists uh, on the show was saying that if you're going to work in the industry, they actually prefer you not to be educated. Yeah, that seemed kind of funny to me, because I guess they want to educate their people and have them learn how to sell and do things in a certain way. But if you're going to be a market participant, so you're going to open up your account, you're going to try to trade, you need education, and you're going to need more than just book learning. You're going to need more than just courses. You're going to need more than just videos and hopping on a live stream every once in a while. You're going to need to actually learn from other people, get mentored, give yourself lots of time, set up your own curriculum, set up your own course. That's the idea. So how do you go about doing something like that, right? Like, that sounds like I need to set up my own university. Well, kinda, yeah. So how do you go about doing that? That's another key theme in the book that I just wrote, The Trading Mind Wheel. And why I wrote this book is because there's so many different skills that you need. There's 8 different skills in total that you need to learn and master in order to trade well, trade successfully. And this isn't just my opinion. This is what I've seen from all the master traders, everybody that's outlined, that wrote great things on the back of this book. Guys like Mike Webster, who was the portfolio manager to William O'Neill and Investors Business Daily, to Mark Minervini, who wrote the forward on the book and is a two-time US investing champion himself. So many people have incorporated each one of the skills that are outlined in this book, either consciously or subconsciously, that it's a requirement. So start with this. Start by learning each of the 8 essential skills needed for trading, and then you'll be able to dive deeper into each one of them. Start to learn how to master each one of those skills. You can, there's a lot of different places where you could go to learn each of the 8 different skills once you get into them. The 8 different skills, right? So let me tell you what the 8 different skills are, and then you can start learning a bit more about each of them on your own, either from the book, from me, from somebody else, right? So the 8 different skills. First one is mindset. Second is journaling. Right? Journaling. Who would even think that journaling should be the second skill? Journaling is critical because if you're not journaling well, then it makes it absolutely impossible for you to continuously improve. You need to be able to track your results somehow and then be able to go back and see what's working, what's not, and that's going to give you the way to continuously improve. You need to know about analysis. You need to know about position sizing and risk management. You need to know about trade management, portfolio management. All these things are in the book here. I'm just giving you a very, very quick outline here. So, trade management, portfolio management, you need to know about post analysis, and you need to know about testing. A lot of people just dive into analysis and think that that's all you really need to learn, but there's so much more to it. So, learn about and master each of the 8 essential skills that are needed for trading, and that's going to put you miles ahead. I wish that I had a book like this when I was first starting out. The third key piece of advice for part-time traders is to be in a hurry to learn, but to be patient with success. So it's kind of like the person that opens up their trading account and is constantly staring at their P&L. Right? You got into this game because you want to make money, right? And you want that money to come quickly. Well, that wanting the money to come quickly and focusing on the money coming quickly is the exact thing that's going to make the money not come quickly. What you want to be in a hurry to do, if anything, is to learn the process, learn the different skills that are needed for trading mastery, be in a hurry to get great people around you, great coaches, great mentors for whatever kind of asset classes that you plan on trading. If you're going to be trading stocks, I know great people. If you're going to be trading Forex, I know great people. Futures, reach out. Let me know what asset classes you plan on studying, and I'll be able to connect you with a lot of great people. We had that Trading Mind Wheel virtual conference just last week. There were a lot of great people that came on that conference from all different areas, all different asset classes, all different methodologies, time frames. Let me know what you need help with. There's great people that can get around and help you out. And lastly, fourth piece of advice for part-timers would be to, as you learn, right? So as you start to apply 1 through 3, right? So you budgeted for trading, you're starting to get educated, and you're developing a curriculum for yourself, and you're in that hurry to start to learn, and you're letting the success come. The thing that's really going to help turbocharge the whole process is to help others along the way, right? Help others that are also that were where you were just a few months ago, maybe a year ago. That's the thing that's going to help turbocharge all this, all your education and everything. Why? Because not only is it the right thing to do, but when you start helping others, it reinforces the information for yourself. It helps you see things from a different perspective, and there the learning goes a lot deeper and it starts sprouting more and more fruit for you too. you're helping others, you're helping to feed others, and you're also helping to feed yourself. And that's really one of the beautiful things about helping others. You're not just helping other people, you're also helping your development, and in helping yourself, you're able to help even more people, right? That's kind of how life works. So, those are the four pieces of advice that I would give for part timers that are trying to build up their accounts alongside their 9 to 5. That's how I personally did it, and that's how it's worked for so many other people, and it can work for you too. So we've got some time left here. Let's go into the Q&A. So if you guys over here on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube have questions, type into the chat. Same thing over here with you guys on Instagram. Let's see what questions you guys have. Tell your book's name. Wow, I am a terrible marketer, aren't I? Tell my book's name. Yes, so the book's name is called The Trading Mind Wheel. Yeah, on Instagram, the words are flipped around. So I hold up the book thinking that you guys could read it, but meanwhile it's backwards. So unless if you're able to read backwards, it's hard to read. The book is called The Trading Mind Wheel, and I will even put the website into Instagram here, tradingmindwheel.com. And you guys can go there and learn more about the book, learn more about the bonuses that come with the book just for ordering it. And go check that out. And the book is available everywhere. I actually just did a book signing at Barnes & Noble last weekend, and that was an experience. I never thought that I would be writing a book, let alone doing a talk about it at a Barnes & Noble. When I was in second grade, my daughter's in second grade now. When I was her age, I didn't like reading. I had a terrible stutter. And of course, I hated having to read in public. If I went back in time and told my younger self that not only would he be writing a book, but he would be speaking about it at Barnes & Noble, I think that kid's head would explode. Let's see, what other questions came in. Advice for part-time traders who are students. Same advice. Same advice, and the reason why is because I was a student too. So when I first started my trading journey, I started back in 99, and in 99 I had just started my undergrad degree. I was about a year in, right? So sophomore. So I had started then, and I also have a master's, and I started my master's in 2005, right? So I got the MBA, and I was working full time at that point. I was going to grad school and still trading. So you could certainly do all of it. It's just a matter of setting the correct expectations. And part of the expectations when it comes to trading is that you need to learn what you're doing before you're actually going to be able to make any kind of money consistently. Yes, it's possible to open up an account, place a trade, and make money on that first trade, but the idea isn't to make money once with trading. The idea is to make money consistently with trading. The way that you're going to be able to make money consistently with trading is by first learning the different skills that are needed for trading. The book does a great job of explaining all the different skill sets that you need and the mindsets that go along with them. Again, the name of the book is The Trading Mind Wheel, and I put the link down below, tradingmindwheel.com. You can get the book pretty much anywhere books are sold: Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Target, Walmart, all those places. Let's see what other questions came in. What are my views on gold? That's interesting. I haven't looked at gold in a minute. Let's bring TradingView over here. Get my water bottle out of the way. move my notes, and then I can move you guys over here on Instagram over, and I can start sharing my screen. All right, so what do we have here? That's Bitcoin. Let's bring up gold. All right, so here's gold. Get some of those annotations off, and I will also share the screen over here on YouTube and all these other spots here. All right, so let's go. All right, so here's gold. All right, so gold broke out a few different times here. If I was going to be looking at gold, let's see. So gold initially broke out, I would say, down here when it first crossed back above the 200-day moving average. I have all these different moving averages over here. And one of the reasons why I like to track moving averages is because the major institutions of the world look at moving averages. So the first time that it got back above the 200-day was back here back in December. Started to get back above there, and you could see how when it was trying to get it back above this level over here, and I drew that red dotted line, it was also struggling with some prior levels from back here, and when you have points on the chart where they make these swing highs and swing lows, they price tends to have memory. And so when price came down here and bounced, that showed that this area around 170 was a potential support area, right? And if you look back on the chart too, it was getting some support around there back here. Then it came back over to 170 and it bounced, and then it tested it again right over here, and then it bounced, and then it fell through that floor. When it fell through the floor, that floor became the ceiling. And so there's the ceiling there. The ceiling is roughly over here. Now it's got the 200-day moving average. Then it was testing it again and again. And then eventually it broke through the ceiling. And now what was once the ceiling has become the floor. And that's what happened over here in March. And so it came in, tested 170-ish level back in March, and since then has rallied. And so far, it's had a pretty strong rally. Let's see, from March, gold is up about roughly 10% or so as of right now. And it's getting support around its 21-day moving average, that purple line right there. So from my perspective, it is in a short-term uptrend, and I would say also an intermediate term uptrend. This is a weekly time frame, and it's making a series of higher highs, higher lows on the weekly. On a monthly time frame, starting to get close to this prior level of resistance here back at the former highs. And price came mighty close to touching that this month already. So 190 was the high this month, and the prior highs are 193, 194. So now the price is getting there to those levels. We'll probably see a bit more consolidation before it ultimately pushes back higher through them. And if we come over here and look at the daily time frame again, you can see that yes, it's starting to consolidate. My personal feeling is that we'll see some consolidation here, maybe a couple of weeks before it's ready to break on through to the other side. It could do it sooner, but if it does take its time and consolidate, then it helps the stock. And the way that it helps the stock, or the commodity in this case, is that it builds another floor, just like how it had this floor over here. If it builds another floor, then if it does try to break through and it pulls back, then there's something where it could find its footing again and try to break through. So those are a few thoughts on gold. Let's see if there's any other questions that have come in. Then we'll call it a day. Scrolling through Instagram. Again, you guys over here on YouTube and Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, get your questions in. Which stocks or currency pairs do you trade mostly? I mostly trade growth and momentum-based stocks. So stocks that have extraordinary earnings, sales, and/or projections, I'll start there. I'll start by filtering all the stocks in the market by stocks that have extraordinary earnings, sales, and/or projections. We could do an entire show. In fact, yesterday's show, I believe it was yesterday's show, went through a lot of the nuts and bolts that I look for. I also described everything that I presently look at and is how I trade in the book. It's not that I'm trying to say that you need to use the exact metrics that I use, but to give you a framework of, well, this is what I look at, and more importantly, why I look at what I look at. It's all in the Trading Mind Wheel book. So I filter down based on the fundamentals first, and then I'll look for stocks that are leaders in their industry groups and stocks that are in leading industry groups. And then I'll look for stocks that are consolidating in price patterns that tend to lead to longer moves. So I'm looking at a variety of different characteristics in a stock, and then I will trade those. The ones that fit my criteria right now, about 300 fit my fundamental criteria. About, I'd say, 30 fit the criteria that I look for technically. And let's see what's popping here. Oh, and Mobileye is a stock that we were talking about with members yesterday. In fact, why don't I bring this back over here? Yeah, this has worked out pretty well the last couple of days here as far as which stocks to trade and all that. So share the screen again. This is Mobileye. This one was on the list yesterday. Well, it was on yesterday's list. I moved this one over to the action list, and so this one actually triggered. So we'll move that over to my open trades. And let's see here. Yeah, so IoT triggered yesterday. IoT actually just triggered another scale out. Mobileye triggered the entry price today, and it also triggered my first scale out. I like to scale out when I make about 1 times my risk and then scale out at my average gain. So this is Mobileye. Mobileye was also a stock that was on the Trade Ideas list that goes out with the free newsletter on Sundays. If you're not already on the free newsletter, go get on the free newsletter. It's at marawealth.com. Link is in my bio. Go get on that. And I try to put out loads and loads and loads of free information every single week. So just a few examples there, and well, with the free newsletter too, I'll give out the stocks that are on my list and try to give out some of the rationale why. And then, of course, if you wanted to work directly with me, we have a program for that too, where we give one-on-one coaching, group mentoring, and group sessions. We meet twice a week. There's a full lesson plan, and getting ready to do our quarterly reviews with members. So if you're a member and you're watching, check your email, because you'll be getting an email from me later this week to set up your quarterly review. And yeah, we're doing a lot. So reach out to me if you want some help. And that's about it for today. Let me know too if this time at starting at 9:30 works for you guys, or if we want to maybe try out some other times. I see some people hopping on YouTube and Facebook now, so I'm starting to get curious if maybe we should shift the time of the show back a little bit. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 9:30. Take care. Much love. Peace out, everybody.